And so I'm not happy with him, and I'm not happy with anybody involved. I think it's a war. I know it's a war. It didn't happen for 4 years. It was never close to happening.
President Donald Trump announced that a critical minerals deal with Ukraine is set to be signed next week, while delivering sharp criticism of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy during an Oval Office meeting with Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni on Thursday.
Well, we have a minerals deal, which I guess is going to be signed on Thursday, Scott, next Thursday, soon. And I assume they're going to live up to the deal, so we'll see. But we have a deal on that. No, I have no comment on that. I have no idea. That's his statement, not mine.
The agreement, aimed at securing access to resources vital for U.S. industries, was originally planned during a contentious White House visit by Zelenskyy that ended in acrimony, highlighting strained relations between the two leaders. Trump expressed deep frustration with Zelenskyy and the Russia-Ukraine war, claiming it would not have occurred under his presidency.
And I don't hold Zelenskyy responsible, but I'm not exactly thrilled with the fact that that war started. That was a war that would have never started if I were president. You'd have millions of people living right now that are dead. You'd have cities that would be open and thriving, and they'd have their beautiful turrets. Those turrets are the most beautiful in the world, but they're not with us any longer.
The remarks came as France hosted high-level talks at the presidential palace in Paris, where U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and presidential envoy Steve Witkoff joined top Ukrainian and European officials to discuss Ukraine's security and potential paths to end the war. Hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron, the meetings marked the first known gathering of such officials since Trump's inauguration on January 20th, 2025. The Paris discussions reflect growing urgency to address the ongoing conflict amid stalled US-led ceasefire efforts. European allies are increasingly concerned about Trump's rhetoric, suggesting closer alignment with Russia, as well as his administration's recent actions, including imposing tariffs on key partners and making provocative statements about NATO and Greenland. The forthcoming minerals deal, expected to be finalized next week, underscores continued US-Ukraine cooperation despite the evident tensions between Trump and Zelenskyy. The agreement represents a pragmatic step forward, securing critical resources while navigating a complex diplomatic landscape. As diplomatic efforts intensify to resolve the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Trump's pointed criticism of Zelenskyy and his nostalgic claims about preventing the war highlight the challenges facing U.S. foreign policy. The Paris talks and the minerals deal signal ongoing engagement, but the path to peace remains fraught with political and strategic complexities, testing relationships with both Ukraine and European allies